Hi, eBay sellers. It's time for my November 2021 sales update video. This is all about what I sold with some interesting backstories and why I chose these particular items to resell in the first place. All that fun information about what a real eBay seller does after the shopping part. So that is the important part of being a reseller, is getting those items listed and evaluating your sales so you could decide, hey, do I want to sell that thing anymore? Or, hey, do I need to find more of that thing to sell? So on that note, I wanted to show you some pictures I took at one of my Goodwills. If you've been listening to my podcasts, you might have heard me talk about how much stuff is piled up in the intake area. So when I was there the other day, I took this picture. I asked if I could take the picture. And I'm not disclosing where this is, but this is pretty much how all of them look when you drive up to that donation door. It's just completely full. And the reason that I was told by both the manager and the intake worker was apparently they have teams that work on different parts of getting the items to the floor. So there's the intake team, there is the sorting and pricing team, and then there's the team that actually puts the items on the sales floor. And they said they're shorthanded in all those areas. So the stuff just piles up. And I'm sure if you zoom in, you can identify particular items that you would buy if they were on the sales floor. Like over here on the right, this might be a Calphalon pan, or it could be a copy. There's so many copies. This looks like a bike rack that you would put on the back of your car. I had one like that. So this is just a treasure hunt to me. When I see this, I'm like, let me back there. Or maybe I need to come work for Goodwill for a little while so I can help get the stuff out on the floor because I want to buy it. And actually, the sidewalk to intake looks like this. So it just piles up. So when I see this, I think abundance. There is more than enough stuff, but it's the labor they're lacking in getting it on the sales floor. And what our Goodwills do during December is they have trailers out in the parking lots, like tractor trailer, and that's where all of the overflow, the year-end donations that come in that last 2 weeks of December, and they have temp helpers. So the employees were looking forward to that. Like, it's going to get better because we're going to have more space for intake and more people to help get it on the floor. So just wanted to show you what I'm seeing at my Goodwills in the metro Atlanta area. And moving on, now it's story time because I have a fun little story to tell you. Okay, I found this cute little brass angel candle holder. It holds a taper candle, and I bought it for a little over $2. It was the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Brought it home, cleaned it up real quickly with some brass cleaner, and listed it in my store. Well, on Thanksgiving, I went to my daughter's, and after we had our meal, we watched Home Alone because we love that movie. And lo and behold, what appears on the screen in front of me is Kevin preparing his delicious macaroni and cheese meal. And look at the candle holders on the table. It's not the exact same one, but pretty darn close. So that was one of those thrifting angels things. It really was a thrifted angel, and it sold in just a couple of days for $29.97. I paid $2.38, making my profit $24.70. So this wasn't a mega sale, but it was just one of those little, I call them God winks, like, hey, look at this. And I do watch a lot of older movies, going way back to black and white movies. I just love looking for these things in the background of the movies, as well as the hairstyles, the cars, the clothing. It's like stepping into a time capsule to do my research for eBay because I'm always seeing these things in the background. So I just thought that was a fun little story to share. So we are now going to get into my other sales. And I did sell a lot of plush this month. And what's interesting is about half of them went internationally. And I really don't know the reason for this, other than maybe these people in other countries just can't find these things, so they buy them on eBay USA. Most of my plush is $1, so with tax $1.06. So when they sell for 25 and over, that's pretty good profit. So this is a Jellycat bear. His name is Piper. He sold for $25. Profit was $18.48, and he went to Canada. This is a French brand, Moulin Rote bear. It was new with tag, paid $1.06, sold for $30. Profit was $22.31, and it went to London. This is Gonger, a Sesame Street character. I paid $1.06 for him. He sold for $30. Profit was $23.35, and he also went to London. This is a Jellycat polar bear. He's a small one, only 8 inches tall. I paid $1.06 for him. He sold for $29.97, full asking price. Profit was $23.58, and he also went to Canada. This is a vintage Ralph Lauren polo bear. Has that fun polo Fair Isle sweater. He was made in the year 2000, so he's vintage. I paid $1.06. He sold for $29. Profit was $23.46. And here we have Barney. He was also vintage, and he was the singing one, and he actually worked. So I made a little video and put it in my listing of him singing the famous I Love You song. I paid $1.25 for him. He sold for $27.97. Profit was $23.85. And here is the vintage Fisher-Price 1997 Puff-A-Lump chicken. I paid $1.06. He sold for $35. Profit was $30.55. So those are the highlights of my plush sales. And if you want to know more about plush, I do have a course on that in the premium library, so you can come check it out and learn everything you always wanted to know about plush but were afraid to ask. This course is actually still under construction, but as you can see, there is about an hour and a half worth of video that will get you moving along, and I will continue to add more segments. Okay, moving on to some clothing items. This is a Tahari linen top, size 1X. Yes, I ironed this so it looked crisp and beautiful. I paid $4.76, sold it for $35. Profit was $26.37. Here is a Saks Fifth Avenue 100% cashmere sweater. And I was thinking, was this made for an orangutan? Look at how long those arms are. Even when I rolled them up, they just didn't look right, but I just went with it. It was cashmere. I paid $6.35. It sold for $35. Profit was $26.43. And this was a men's, so that explains the longer arms, but still, these were very long arms. Okay, flax, Flax, 100% linen top. I paid $6.35. Took an offer of $38. Profit was $27.41. Vintage daytimer. This one was unusual in that it had a detachable leather shoulder strap. So that was a nice feature. I paid $3.18. It sold for $40. Profit was $32.78. I found this cassade wetsuit at an out of the way thrift store. I paid $10 for it. Sold it for full asking of $49.97. Profit was $34.41. Alan Solly 100% cashmere sweater. This was also a men's. I paid $4.76. Sold for full asking of $44.97. Profit was $34.56. Okay, a Soma bra, size 40G. So yes, this one was a bit large. I paid $4.24 for this. It sold for full asking of $49.97. Profit on this one bra was $37.80. So if you are comfortable selling this type of item and you want to know more, I have a class on that in the Premium Library. I was able to create a lot of courses this year, so I actually hit 450 videos in the Premium Library last week. So those are really starting to accumulate. It really is a library. There's a lot in there. Okay, Little Darlin's Doll. This was not like a famous brand name, but the fact that it was vintage is why I picked this up. Paid $1.01 for this. Sold for $44 even. Profit was $37.97. Arc'teryx dress. This was pre-owned. I paid $7.42. It sold for $54.97. Profit was $41.04. This is a Lands of Salzburg velour robe. It was new with tag. So while it wasn't the classic designs of the vintage Lands nightgowns, still a high quality item. I paid $4.24. It sold for $52. Profit was $46.40. And my highest dollar sale of the month was this Clairol conditioner. This came in the Natural Instincts hair color box. A lot of people don't use it and they accumulate it. And this was donated just like this, just a bag of these conditioners. Other people want them because they use this conditioner on their color treated hair all the time. So it's just a case of matching up the haves and the have-nots. And this particular one was discontinued. It had like coconut and almond oil, different things like that in it. Anyway, I paid $1.58 for this little bag of these. It sold for $54.97. Profit was $47.58. So I was a little disappointed that this was my highest dollar sale of the month, but it is what it is. I still made money on eBay and I'm just going to keep plugging along. I sold 77 items in the month of November. My inventory cost for those items was $258. My total profit was $1,709. Now, this was significantly lower than October. So I have no explanation. I'm doing the same things every month. I'm adding high dollar items. It just is what it is. eBay is a peaks and valleys kind of business. It's just up and down all the time. But we can always look forward to next month being better than this month. You just keep going. My profit per item was $22.19, which was significantly lower than in October, but still pretty good for the year overall. So I'm still on the right track. And this is what I'm focusing on is profit per item, because that's going to improve my total profit if I just keep focusing on these higher dollar items. Okay, that's the quick and dirty report. Not my greatest month ever, but I do like to keep you all informed because I make these videos to show what the average person can do over time if you just stick with it and stay consistent. And people ask me all the time, how many hours a week do you spend on your eBay business? And I do a lot of different things, so sometimes it's mixed together. Sometimes I'm listing items while I'm editing a video, and I'm doing multiple things at a time, but really about 10 hours a week. So 40 hours a month to bring in profit of $1,700. If you do the math, $1,700 divided by 40 hours is $42.50 an hour. And I can earn that at home wearing whatever I want, working whatever hours I want, as much or as little as I want to do that day. So that's really not a bad deal. I know there are plenty of resellers out there with YouTube channels who make probably 10 times what I make, but I'm perfectly happy with this for the time investment. And it's fun and I enjoy it and I'm never going to stop doing it. And people ask me all the time, when are you going to retire? What are you going to do when you retire? And I'm like, I'm already doing it. I teach retired people how to make money, so I'm going to keep doing this. Okay, that is my rant. Thanks for hanging in there with me. As always, I appreciate you watching and love your comments. I read and answer every single one. And as always, have a profitable, productive, and fun day on eBay. See you next time. Bye.